always reminds me that this work will live beyond him because that is what Paul Robeson taught him. The many times we have sat to talk about the movement in his time with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., I've learned so much about his work and legacy. He has often reminded me that as he passed the baton to me, that I am to be the bridge between youth and elders. I'm to remind people that there's a lane for them, meanwhile creating entry points for people to come into this work to build the beloved community joyfully and intentionally. As you can imagine, in the past 15 years, I have met some of the most dynamic individuals through our work that are now part of our team, an extended network that we call family. It is with great enthusiasm that I share the next video with you, an introduction to the team that makes the dream work.
My position is the National Director of Youth Campaigns and Leadership.
I've been with Justice League NYC since 2014.
The Senior Regional Organizer based here in California.
I've been with the Gathering since 2014.
I am the Program Administrator, Office Manager to the Gathering for Justice.
And I'm the Chief Operating Officer.
I have been with the Gathering for Justice since its inception, and I am the CEO and President.
So Mr. Belafonte started with Dr. King when he was 28 years old. Is that right, sir? 26, okay. That's right.
The thing that is so incredible about Harry Belafonte was that he was intersectional before people were talking about that, before Kimberly Crenshaw came up with that term. That's what he was, that's what he did. He, even at the founding of the Gathering for Justice.
Our young people are one of the most important critical pieces to the movement. You know, when I think about Mr. Harry Belafonte, when he gathered the elders, he recognized that we also needed to gather the young people.
And one thing that Mr. Belafonte always tells us is that we're responsible for our own generation. And that's something that young people really need to understand, is that, you know, we have to study the past, and, you know, they have the liberty to carry on that baton and just make sure not to follow the same mistakes and be responsible for your own generation, because it's not about moments, it's about the movement.
So the Gathering for Justice is an intergenerational, intercultural, social justice organization that is rooted in Kingian nonviolence and spirituality. Justice League for me is the manifestation of the Gathering for Justice to build political and collective power. It was really a space for us to come together with our full selves. Artists, people who were directly impacted by incarceration or victims of incarceration, people who had been harmed, came together like Voltron across the country.
I've been sort of bringing young people into this space, supporting with organizing efforts. That's why I sort of value and love the Gathering so much. They know that young people show up and want to continue to organize.
I have the privilege of building out Justice League California. It's us. It's those closest to the issues, those most impacted, and really ending police brutality. I oftentimes say that we are our own experts around these issues. We really organize and mobilize young people and fight in the intersections between policy and grassroots organizing.
The world really needs to know that the Gathering for Justice is considering them, considering everyone, knows that there's a place for everyone, and is really committed to freedom and liberation for all people.
And I believe what Mr. Belafonte does so beautifully is that he provides a vision for you. It's kind of like he provides a canvas, and it's really my responsibility to figure out how to get the paint and paint the picture for the next generation. It's really a place for movement leaders. We are able to incubate movements like the Women's March, like Take the Knee, like Free Meek Mill. We cultivate the leadership of so many people that come into our door.
As Carmen likes to say, you have to have multiple courageous conversations with people. And if you want to create the beloved community, and you got to pull people into the cause.
One of the things that my mentor said to me very early on was the word sawabona, which meant I see you in Swahili.
It just showed the power of organizing, and that really sort of gave me the energy and willpower to continue to show up. I knew my brother was not the only person who had experienced this trauma, I had to do the work.
The impact that the Gathering for Justice has on directly impacted people, on people who have lost loved ones to police violence, on people who have experienced mass incarceration, centers and uplifts those people. That's at the core of all of the work that the Gathering.
I'm still overwhelmed. I come from being in prison just 7 days ago.
The work, when it works, there's so many places where people can get involved and it has a positive influence for the rest of their lives. We've worked over the years with a prison program that Mr. B is very close to up at Sing Sing. There has been 0% recidivism. That's huge.
I believe there is a place for everyone, and I think that is something that we embody as an organization.
The electricity of the people